Hello, welcome to the Mantis garden. In this video I'd like to show you how to make a terrarium out in the wild for completely free. Yes, a budget terrarium. I keep getting people asking me on Discord and email, etc. where I buy things. The simple answer is I don't. Let's get on with it. Okay, so I'm at the entrance of a broadleaf forest, and conveniently there's a path here. That's how we're going to start, by grabbing some of this gravel on the path, and that's what we're going to make as our drainage layer. So it's free, cost nothing. Well, I come into the forest and this is what I find. I've seen out of Skyrim. Somebody went to an obvious lot of effort to make this hide. Oh well, we're going to use the floor here and we're going to get some substrate for our container. Let's have a go at it. Right, here we are. So before I put substrate in, let me explain what an ABG mix is, what it consists of why we use it. You see, an ABG, Atlanta Botanical Gardens, has 4 main ingredients. One of them, sphagnum moss, which retains moisture. Another one, peat moss, again retains moisture, has a few nutrients in it. Orchid bark creates aeration, just like you get on a porous floor like this. And cocoa fibre, which also helps water retention. So this stuff is pretty much what we're making when you make an ABG mix. It's the forest floor. That's what you're trying to emulate with your bits of bark, your leaf litter, and of course your nutrients. Because if we dig under here, this is just pure gold. This is exactly what we want. This is substrate. So I'm going to use this. Unfortunately, I've got no mesh layer, which we'd normally have in the bottom here. And the reason being is because, like I said, we're making this for free. So let's chuck this in. I'm not even going to worry about bits of leaves and twigs and whatnot, because that helps with aeration. If it's too big, I'm going to take them out, obviously. So we're going to pop this in. Any old crap. And simply scraping the top of the leaf litter off. And what's underneath it is basically what decomposed maybe last year or the year before, or over several years. And this is what we've got. So we end up with a reasonably good substrate for our jar. And this is already damp, so I don't. Good job, because I didn't bring a spray either. I haven't brought tweezers or anything, because, as I said, this is going to be for free. So I'm going to scout around now and see if we can find some bit of moss, maybe a stick or something with a bit of moss on it, and we're going to end up with a terrarium either way. So I'm going to get on with that now. Let's go hunting for moss. This is a fallen tree. All we've got here is bark covered in moss. So with a bit of luck, I'll have a look around here and see what else I can find. And we should be able to peel some of this bark off with the moss. I'm saying that, it's tough, but there's lots of fallen trees here after that terrible storm we had last year. And they've all got moss on them. So we're going to be using something like this at least for our terrarium as a main feature item. We've got here is a bit of bark with, I think, feather moss attached to it. So that will do for our base, I think. Let's see. Okay, this is our table in the wilderness. So let's get our bit of moss here with a bit of bark on it. I'm just going to put it at the front here. When you get moss with bark ready attached, it will last a lot longer because it's pretty much carrying its own substrate in the bark, which stays moist for longer. I'm going to need a bit more of this, so I'm going to grab a bit more. Be right back. Okay, I grabbed a bit more off the floor, and this appears to be fern moss. So it's a different moss again. It's always good. Very, very similar in colour though. This might change. This is quite dry, where I got it from, under a tree. So let's keep that elevation going. Keeping it low at the front and higher at the back. I think I'm going to need some more. I've done some fern moss here that's attached to back. So I'm going to use this as like a back wall, I think. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, down a little bit. I've paid money for my tweezers right about now. Right, let's find. It's a bit squishy. Let's find a bit of bark. God knows what that was that stuck to my finger. Jackpot! Let's find some bark with moss on it. Some very interesting bark, and an entire family of millipedes, and a shroom that they're eating. So let's use that. Put that at the back. Looks like you could do with a spray, that one. There you go. Nice at the back. This is a much deeper green. Let's put that at the back. Push it in a bit. Yeah. And then I'm going to chuck in these bits here, because I do have colours on them. So look at this. It's pretty much just a jar of moss at the minute. Let's have a look how she looks. Not too bad. Not too bad. Maybe we can use some of this back here. Just drop bits in to make it look like a fallen bits of tree and whatnot. And yes, I can't hide the light from it, so what I have to do with that is get it on and have a look at it under a light, and that is completely free. So don't tell me nobody can just do it. I got it home and this is what it looks like under a light. I like it, and it just proves you can do it for absolutely free. This is pretty much just a forest in a jar, and I think it looks great. So don't forget, when you're watching all them other videos on YouTube and they're telling you to spend this and spend that, you don't need to. Just go out in the forest and put it in a jar. I'll see you next time.